Welcome again, all you wonderful YouTubers out there. This is Edward from the Philippines. My channel just started this week is A Foreigner Escapes to the Philippines. Welcome to the channel, and another beautiful night here, evening, sunset time in the Philippines. I'm on the top of my tower at the Golden Palace in Mindanao, the island of Mindanao. And I've been here about 8 years, no, more like 6 years. Steady after my retirement, the last almost 4 years, and it's my home now. Had a lot of choices there before I retired. Well, should I go back and forth to America, spend half the year here, half the year, in America, or travel? And what I ended up doing is I ended up traveling for 2 years before I retired. So on my off time, I worked in Alaska, on the North Slope of Alaska. Excellent job. Excellent career for a lot of years. And I said, you know what? I only have to work 2 weeks out of every month. So I met my wife now, Queen Lilibeth, and we traveled Singapore, Beijing, Moscow, all over Southeast Asia, and went to London. Yeah, had a great time, and that was my travel time. Then I figured, okay, I'm not gonna go back and forth to America all the time. It's just gets to be too much, and the older you get, the less you want to travel so much anyways. So I figure, well, let's just put permanent roots down here. The cost of living's good. You get yourself set up with your bank accounts and remittances, and have backup plans with, like I've been talking in a lot of these videos, backup plans with physical gold in your possession savings, and also have some cash savings. But things are getting pretty hairy out there now. Geez, I'm sure all you are hearing about all the bank failures and the bank takeovers and everything that the Federal Reserve is doing in America to shore up the banking system. It's not looking too good. I mean, I know in the past we've had a couple, like in the financial crisis of 2008, we had some situations there where there was billions and billions in bailouts, and it's not billions anymore, it's trillions. Can you imagine how much money trillions is? I've read some statistics on it. It's like back and forth from the earth to the moon with stacked $1 bills 10 times or something. It's just crazy amount of money. And you think the average people of the world is getting any benefit off of that? No, absolutely not. It's the fascist corporations that are in bed with the governments of the world. That's the way this whole Western system works. And there's a lot of countries in the world right now that are had enough of it, because they use the dollar as a weapon against all kinds of countries of the world. I'm not just talking Iran and North Korea. They use it against, now they're using it against Russia, now they're using it against China, and there's dozens of other countries they have sanctions on that you don't ever hear about. But yeah, it's why do we have to coerce and pressure other countries financially, militarily, anything? I mean, the founding fathers were very clear in the Constitution: stay out of foreign entanglements. I mean, but like I said in some other videos, the governments don't want to do that anymore because they've been infiltrated by the craziest cults, I'll say, that you can imagine. I've done years and years of research on this, and it's really some evil stuff. You wouldn't hardly believe what's going on in this globalist agenda around the world. And the jab had a lot to do with that, controlling the people, preparing them for the next one, to see how much control that they can impose upon the people. And that's why I'm here in the Philippines. One of the big reasons. I got lucky when I retired in the spring of 2019 and did all my traveling that year and the year or two before that, because that was the last real free travel that you could do before that whole lockdown thing happened. And if you think this is the end of the lockdowns, I think you're fooling yourself. This is just the beginning. And just imagine yourself in one of the European countries in World War II when they were just bombed to absolute oblivion. I mean, we're talking buildings, several story buildings throughout the city, all down to rubble. I mean, just like what's happened in Syria in the Middle East and in Iraq. I mean, if you get on the bad boy list with the NATO powers, for whatever reason, you're going to get bombed to oblivion. And that's the pushback now in the world that's going on right now with the BRIC nations, right? That's what's going on. And you know what? A lot of Americans are oblivious to what really is going on until it hits your pocketbook or it affects your family or your life personally. And that day's coming. Everybody, that'll never happen. We're the strongest there ever was. There's never anyone ever going to overtake us in militarily or the U.S. dollar. It'll always be the most powerful, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Maybe, but the odds of that happening, looking at history, are very low. Very low. And I don't know, I try to base my decisions on history, biblical prophecy, common sense, and mutual respect. And you know what? A lot of that's non-existent these days. So I pray it gets better. I really do. But, that's why I think in America right now, there's more risk to Americans staying in America than there is for Americans moving to places that they can better serve themselves and their families, safe areas. Which my first clue of why I'm here in Mindanao was the U.S. State Department said on the website first couple times I came here that I should register with them, and I did once or twice, first couple times. Register with them if I travel here because it's a dangerous area for terrorism. So I went, I was like, wow, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't go there, blah, blah, blah. But I was bound and determined, right? So I came here. You know what? I've been here 6+ years, never had a problem, never had a terrorist attack on myself or any friends I know. I know of murders that happened with different people I know, and I've heard of some foreigners getting killed, but the foreigners that got killed were involved with drugs, the drug trade, or illegal. They were getting themselves in trouble, and that's what happens, right? I don't care what country you're in or where you are. If you're involved in drugs or illegal activity, illegal activity I call not something the government doesn't like. I call illegal activity something that harms other people. If you're involved in something that harms other people, then you deserve to be put in jail or taken out, I think. But there's so many things that the government or some people call illegal that is absolutely not illegal. It's our God-given right that we should have been practicing these things, but the government got their hold on it and they want us to pay. They want us to pay for licenses. it's endless, right? All the taxes, the different types of taxes. Why? Because that's what people that want to hurt other people do. They say you must. Well, I think it's time for us to say, no, we don't want to. No, I don't have to. If you want to do something to me, then that's your prerogative, but we have to make a stand. At some point in our lives, we have to make a stand. And there's so many protests throughout the world right now. It's because of what these tyrannical organizations are doing to the people. And the people just cower down and take a knee, sign the dotted line of whatever that these tyrannical organizations want us to do. Well, why? That's why the people are starting to rise up. They're sick of it. They're done. They're done with being pushed around and having their livelihoods stolen from them. I mean, we're at a turning point in history right now. I can feel it. So that's why I escaped to the Philippines. Biblically, I've done lots of research of the Philippines, and not only biblically, but national statistics about, and I've mentioned it before, about the gold in this country, just loaded with gold. And you can grow anything you want, fresh water. The temperature's perfect for growing anything. The people are wonderful. It's a real place of freedom. There's no, I shouldn't say no. In the cities, there's a police state going on with CCTV cameras and stuff like that. And but what I've seen of law enforcement and the military here, you know what? If you're not harming other people or killing anybody or doing serious harm, they leave you alone. They absolutely leave you alone. Actually, I've bought an ammunition and gone out and shot target practice for a full day with the local PNP, Philippine National Police, a couple times. I mean, they're good people. They really are. I mean, it takes. There's always a tyrant here and there that wants to push you around, but you know what? Here, I've never seen it. I've never really seen it here. But in the U.S., I sure have seen it. Man, I got pulled over a couple times just on a traffic stop, and it's just like they acted like I just killed somebody the way they act to me. Zero respect. So yeah, it's sad the way the world's going. So time for a change. Time to take a stand. Time to say no to them. That was what Nancy Reagan, President Ronald Reagan back in the 80s. That's his wife, Nancy. They had a drug commercial together on TV, and it says, when someone asks you if you want drugs, just say no. Well, it's the same way with the jab, or you have to pay this fee, or you have to pay this license, or you have to do this, or you have to do that. No, let's just start saying no. Let's just start saying no. No matter what the consequences, because if we don't start now, pretty soon we'll be on our knees begging for our lives because we never fought back, we never stood up. And what are they going to say to you? Resistance is futile. Just like they're the Borg. It's basically what it is. They're the Borg trying to assimilate us, and we need to fight, no matter how hard it is. Anyway, that's my little 2 cents worth this evening on this beautiful evening in the Mindanao in the Philippines. Sunset is still pretty nice there. Can't hardly beat it here. It's a beautiful sight. And the locals they're always burning right toward evening, burning leaves. That's normal. But anyways, good talking with you again. Take care. God bless. Please like and subscribe my site if you like the content. I'll be going on different adventures, and I'll start picking subjects. You know, like I say, it's my first week, so I'm just getting ball rolling. So take care. God bless.